The Occupy Wall Street movement has rapidly gained momentum. According to the Occupy movement's meetup page, there are now over 2,600 Occupy communities worldwide. With this global protest attracting more participants, as well as opposition, I investigated the sentiment regarding the local movement Occupy Tucson by speaking with the founder of Tucson's Tea Party, as well as an integral member of Occupy Tucson's protest.
Trent Humphreys. I'm the organizer of the Tucson Tea Party. It's a mixed bag. I mean, I think that there is some worries out there. I mean, the way with the bank bailout and things that happened, that's an important issue, and no company should be too big to fail. The bailouts were a problem, and there's concerns I have though. I'm not really, the way it was organized, the way it was first put together, didn't look organic to me. I mean, like I said, when we did ours, I know it was organic because I was part of it, and we've not received any help from anybody. This one, it's kind of weird because ours is almost like a bottom-up type thing where everybody got together, and so we're here, now what do we do? This one seemed to be from the very minute, we're going to show up and this is how we run things, even with the hand signals. It was just kind of strange to me. But, again, if that's what it takes to keep people organized and doing something, then good. I want to see that. I just want to make sure that people are doing it for the right reasons, to understand why they're out there doing it. There's something in every city around the world, and not only that, but they do things exactly the same way every time. So somebody's organized somewhere. This just didn't spring up out of nowhere, and there was a lot of work that went into this. And I look and see, some of the main, funders. You'd say that, and I say it's easy to say, well, this person's evil and they're funding it, but I do question sometimes, that I think there are people that are funding. I think there are people that are collecting money off this. And I'm not sure that money is being spent all the way down to the lower end of things. There's a lot of people that kind of look at them and shake their heads, and say, well, why is camping out in the park the most important thing? Now, how are you going to win hearts and influence people camping out in the park? It seems to me that you're just kind of being childish. And, that's not always the way I feel, but I know there's a lot of people out there that feel that way, that this isn't the way you go about doing things, especially if you're going to try to compare yourself to the greats like Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. They actually had a reason they went out and did things. To scream about that we're being suppressed when you're just camping out in a park, it just doesn't. It's not an honest argument. I think they need to do a little less whining sometimes, and a little more trying to get there and win hearts and minds. Oh, not at all. I mean, look, there's already case law that talks about this. And this isn't anything new, that just the first time it's ever happened. Look, there are laws in place that say that you can't be in the park after a certain time, and the reason those laws are put into place is, look, we can't always have protection for you from those times to those times. In order for us to have protection for the Occupy Tucson people, we've been paying our police officers a lot of money. That's why they have things like you have to have a permit for the park in order to cover those costs. Free speech, it has its time and purpose in place, and camping out in the park, and that's not just me saying it. That's previous court cases that have determined this, that you can put a time, a limit, and method of speech. They've made this the issue, and it's so far afield from what they want to talk about, and I think it's a problem for them.
My name is Robbie Avalos. This group is founded kind of on a step up to do stuff kind of basis where people get involved, and so working groups which are established just through people stepping up and doing the job is kind of like, I mean, there's absolutely no leadership here. It's just kind of, there's something to do, people will step up and do it. You have a variety of problems, and you have a variety of people going to fix it too. Basically, there's no limitation to like, if I was in power over here and I was working this and a certain situation came up that I didn't know how to deal with it. When you have a structure that's very formal, you're not able to be adaptive to that, which is kind of like where this is a very different type of self-governing. I don't think that having no leader is a problem at all, and actually the media, which kind of deemed it as that, is going to find that in the long run, like that's going to be their, they kind of made a weapon because there is no leader. It's just very common sense that what people know is right and what people know is wrong. Got involved when it started up, and it was just something that I've been following for a long time. Honestly, this was inevitable. It's when you looked across the world and what was happening there, which is the same exact thing here. It's just the poor getting poorer and the rich are getting richer. This was very, it's very predictable, and it was very, they had it coming, and right now this is just growing. And even if people don't agree with it or, want to like support it, they know that something's wrong with the government. So when they're going by and they see us here, that encourages talking, and talking is the first way that we kind of be over this. Every protest that I've been to up until this point, that's come together now. It's a bunch of issues, and it's funny because people who say, oh, they don't know why they're there, they're holding up, a sign for that and a sign for this, and it's like, well, if you zoom out a little bit and you see all those problems, you see one giant problem, which is what the message is about. If they want to be, if America wants to be that innovative country that everybody loves here, we need to start doing it. We need to start doing it now in completely new age thinkings. We need to show the world, that we can be a leader on something like this, and right now we're not. Corporations just got too used to us just being like, okay, I'm going to follow this, I'm going to follow this. They're going to, oh man, they're raising our fees, taxes just went up. Oh man, whatever, this economy. And it's like, when there's something like this here, it's creating that, no, you know what, screw that. Like, we're not going to, our dollars have a vote, and we forgot about that.